Okay, what is going on, everybody? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DKEN, and welcome to my incredible podcast. Now, before we commence this episode, do not forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, share this with your boys and your families, follow me on Instagram, smash that bell notification button, and of course, as always, enjoy. Let's get started. Our top story for today shall be: females in general do not deserve a good man. They must earn him. Now, this shall be another freestyle PSA dedicated to all of the good men who got screwed over and fucked over hard by some of the most self-entitled, toxic, and narcissistic females. This shall be dedicated to all of the good men out there who ended up getting overlooked, disregarded, and discarded, and I mean like thrown away like pieces of garbage by these American bitches, these thotties, and these 304s. Gentlemen, I'm going to say several things, okay? I don't care how many times I have to repeat myself, okay? So with that said, let's dive right into it. 1. Gentlemen, stop being nice guys, okay? Stop being the good man that's always there for everyone around you, okay? Here's why I am saying this, okay? Most people that you will come across, especially females in general, they will not appreciate you, okay? Most people that you will come across will not even acknowledge you. Most people will never, ever take the time to bond with you. Therefore, what does that do to you? Well, essentially, it transforms you into a completely different person, okay? It completely changes your entire perception. It changes how you interact and how you perceive certain people. It teaches you how to look in between the lines and find out what kind of a person you're really dealing with. It teaches you how to detect red flags in people as you interact with them. So it does motivate you to put up multiple layers of barriers towards most people. And for those of you that do this, I do not blame you at all, because I understand. Like, even I do this a lot. I don't open up to a lot of people. Like, I keep my walls up so damn high because I already got fucked over hard by people who fucking pretended to care about me, but their actions had demonstrated that they don't care about me. Therefore, so be it. I'll go my own way, and do me a favor. Here's what you do to people who do not give a legit fuck about you. What you do is tell them, hey, do not fucking contact me ever again under any circumstances. Don't ever speak to me ever again, okay? This is the approach that you should use towards anybody that doesn't show any mutual interest towards you. This leads to my second point. 2, instead of being that good guy or / nice guy that's always helping out people who do not appreciate you, learn how to stand up for yourselves, okay? Instead of being nice and tending to people's needs and wants, tell them to go fucking pound sand, okay? Fuck what other people need or want. My needs and my wants, my demands, my standards, and my expectations, they come first. So, if other people are not treating you like an equal, which is the bare fucking minimum, shut them out. Like, cut them out of your lives. Sever all of those ties. This is the approach that you should implement in your lives, okay? Think of it this way. Let's say you're working on some sort of, a project or assignment with a group of people. If you are one of those people that at least attempted to communicate with your team, you tried to help out the others, and if your fellow teammates gives you shit about anything, and or they never return that favor to you, that's where it starts to fall apart. That's when you have to take a step back and analyze the situation as it is, and determine whether or not you should sever ties with the team. Because if the other people you're working with are not supporting you back, then why bother working with them ever again? Like, I'm telling you right now, this is a true story. This happened to me several times in my life. Like, I'll use the first example. It happened when I was in college during my freshman year. Like, I was paired up with a group of guys. While our project was in the development phase, if you will, I noticed that I was the only guy that gave a legit damn about the assignment, but the rest of my other members were literally in their own little programs. They were doing their own thing, so I had to tell one of them face to face that I needed to change to a different group. I also told my professor about this, and she gave me the green light as well. Look, the point I'm trying to make is this. If you're around a group of people that do not even take the time to communicate, if they don't have your back on anything at all, Go your own way, okay? You go left, they go right. Simple as that. Keep this in mind. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're being an asshole. If you are put in a team where you are giving them a sufficient amount of effort, but they don't support you or have your back, if they choose not to return the favor to you, then don't be there. The solution's very simple. Tell them to have a nice life and leave. I've done that various times, despite the fact that it was somewhat painful to leave, and it sucked throwing a lot of progress down the drain. It was necessary to do because I was not treated as an equal, regardless of how hard I was willing to work and how much I was willing to put to the table. This brings me to the third point. Number 3, to the guys. Learn how to not get attached to certain people, okay? Here's why that's exceedingly bad to do. I shall use females as an example, and I shall use a true story example to go into further detail about the third point. When you start getting attached to certain people that you meet in your life, during most times you're not going to notice it at first, okay? From a subconscious perspective, you may not notice it at first. However, as soon as other people start noticing it, and I promise you, they will throw subtle hints at you, little signs, which is their way of saying to you, hey, you're being needy. You're showing signs of neediness. If you don't cut it out, we'll have to, break it off with you. And guess what will happen next? After you continue to disregard these subtle hints that they're giving you, you continue to pursue people that you feel you need, not want. What happens next is that they'll cut you out of their lives and you'll never hear from them again. This is what will happen to you when you start acting needy. And this happened to me when I was in college, okay? I used to have groups of buddies that I wanted to hang out with, but the problem was I wanted to hang out with them all the time. It was almost as if I didn't have anything else going on in my life. So I immediately started showing signs of neediness, and guess what happened? They cut me off. I was devastated, and I never saw them again. Keep in mind, this is just one of the many examples that I can use to teach you what happens when you start acting needy. Now, this is the third point that you must master from start to finish. You do not need anyone in order to prosper, okay? Stop getting attached to people in general, okay? You don't need anyone in order to grow as a human being, okay? It's reasonable to say that you may want someone. However, on the other side of the same token, if that person does not want you, then there's nothing you can do. The only thing you could do is let go of that person and wish him or her a nice life, okay? Tell you what, I'll use a second example of neediness. Way back during my third year in college, there was this blonde female that I used to like, okay? I used to have 2 different classes with her. The first class was during my second year in college, and during that time, I did not give that much of a damn about her. Then the second class that I had with her was during my third year in college, specifically back in the year 2016. That was when I started to get immediately hypnotized and attached to her. She was one of those, popular females that was perceived as a 10. And I'll be honest with you, during my college days, I was the stereotypical blue pill beta male that had no clue as to what the fuck I was doing. I was absolutely delusional to think that I knew what I was doing. Straight to the point, I only hanged out with her once and that was it. A one-on-one, if you will, okay? After that, she didn't want to hang out with me again. So, unbeknownst to me, she started hanging out with other guys, and I was straight up stupid to believe that I was the only guy that she was talking to. I'm telling you, I used to be that typical blue pill clueless beta male. She completely lost all attraction to me, and check this out. One day, I saw her just chilling with one of her girlfriends in school. I walked up to her and I said hi. Then, after talking to her for 5 minutes, I went off and I said to myself, maybe I should try harder and win her back. This was the beta male mindset that I used to have during my college days, okay? It was basically where I said to myself, maybe if I just try even just a little bit more harder and show her that she means the whole world to me, then I could win her back. So after that, this gets worse, okay? Check this out. A few minutes passed, I turned around, I look back, and I see that she was relaxing all by herself. So I thought to myself, great, this is the perfect opportunity. I will seize this opportunity and I will win her back. Well, here's what happened. I approached her a second time and I started chatting with her again for no real good reason. I remember that I asked her when she will graduate and move on. She said that she'll graduate in 2 more semesters. And as soon as I was about to ask her out, which of course that was going to be a predictable and inevitable fail, another guy shows up to sit right beside her. So I asked her out and she said that she was hanging out with the other guy, aka the guy that just showed up and sat right next to her. So in that moment, that was when I lost all respect for her and all attraction for her. Because, and I understand that showing signs of neediness is bad, okay? And make no mistake, I've made tons of mistakes with this female that I liked. However, what she did was most certainly unforgivable. More to the story, after that, I just ended the conversation by saying, okay, take care of yourself. After that, I completely engaged in no contact for good. I deleted her number, which means I did not call her or text her ever again. Now, here's the thing. Before I forget to tell you guys this, okay? Shortly after I walked away from her, I saw the two of them walking together, and then for a brief second, she reaches out to grab his hand. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time. She reached out to grab for his hand. It was pretty much as if they were walking like a couple. So that's the part that broke me that day, okay? But like I said, I had no idea what I was doing back then, okay? You got to keep that in mind. Even though I saw her again during the next semester hanging out with other guys, I never spoke to her ever again. And the semester after that, I never saw her again. But that's not the point. Remember, the third point that I just mentioned to you is this. When you start attaching yourself onto a certain person or a certain group of people, it will have a very bad ending on you because there's a good chance that they will start perceiving you as a threat, like a stalker. I promise you that will have a bad ending on you because if they have to, they will do more than just cut you out of their lives. Like you might end up getting kicked out of school. She might press charges on you for stalking, and then you'll receive a restraining order and or a no contact order. Think about it this way. As soon as you breach any of those orders, and this is if you were ever in this situation, as soon as you breach any of those orders, you're the one who ends up getting charged for breaching the order, and you will serve time behind bars. You will do time from start to finish. Gentlemen, do not fucking do this, okay? Let her be and go into no contact permanently, okay? Do not text her, do not call her, wish her a nice life and move on, okay? This leads to my next point. Number 4, gentlemen, stop chasing these females, okay? The more you chase these bitch-ass 304s that belong to the streets,
she belongs to the streets,
the more that these 304s will ridicule you and humiliate you, okay? That's just the way it is, okay? The fact of the matter is, most American females, and I'm talking about 90% of the females in the fucking country, are straight up self-entitled, narcissistic, and gold-digging 304s that do not give 1, 2, or even 3 fucks about you. They don't care about you. The only things that they love about men is the attention and the validation that they're receiving from men. And money, of course. Like, money's a bonus. If a guy happens to be rich, then these females will groom him and manipulate him so that these 304s can find subtle ways to get his money. See, from the female perspective, the more money a man has, the more he will stand out as a target to females in general. And I promise you this, the females that have malicious intent to siphon money from you, I promise you, one way or another, they will try to seduce you, the guy with money, in order to pay for their own variety of expenses, i.e. rent, nails, and hair at the local salon, shoes, purses, dresses, and more. For those of you that think that I'm lying, or if you want to believe that my statement is false, go ahead and believe whatever you want to believe. However, do yourself and me a favor. Do not say that I did not warn you, okay? I'm just letting you know this up front. 5, okay? Number 5. This one's for the females. Listen up. Just because you are a female, it most certainly does not mean that you are entitled to a man's money, resources, and time, okay? And don't worry, I'll be making another episode going into concrete detail about this specific subject. But for now, I will be giving an overview of this subject for this episode, okay? To all of y'all females that have malicious intent to siphon a man's resources, understand this. You are not entitled to his things just because of your gender. I hope all of y'all Gen Z females are listening to this right now, because as the new generation of females, you are the ones that are failing hard, okay? Y'all Gen Z females are the ones that are failing to understand this concept, okay? As Red Pill and MGTOW content creators, we upload videos as much as we can where we go into deep detail on what it is that y'all females are doing wrong. Like, regardless of the facts that we're hurting your feelings and roughing up your fat ass egos, we're trying to tell you the things that you're doing wrong. However, y'all females are the ones that choose to disregard our advice that we're giving to you for free. So what does that show? Well, very simple. It demonstrates that you have no intent in improving yourselves and become better people. It displays that you never had any remorse for your negative actions. It shows that you are not willing to learn from your errors and grow from them. It simply demonstrates that as men, we can no longer trust you. This leads to my next and final point. Number 6. One day, feel free to mark my words or not, it's up to you. Karma will punish you for your bad actions one day. As females, you may have the first laugh. You may be having a lot of fun now just because you are young and you are living the 304 lifestyle, and that's okay. I'll tell you what this does to you. It motivates us to build ourselves up and create a newer version of ourselves. And check this out. One day, I promise you this, one day we will create better lives than all of y'all females, okay? One day we will live a better lifestyle than all of you. In conclusion, here are the things we all can learn from this. Gentlemen, start taking a stand right now against these narcissistic and egocentric creatures that cannot care any less about you, okay? Do not help them out in any way. Do not give them female attention, validation, money, efforts, time. These are things that you must reserve for yourselves, okay? Remember, from the female perspective, men give love and females receive love. The females choose to not return that love back, okay? They do not return that love back because once you spend it, you cannot get it back. And the same thing applies with one thing. Time. Okay, man or woman, listen up. As soon as you spend time with someone that intends to waste your time, you cannot get that time back. It's, in my opinion, it's the most important currency, like more important than money, okay? Once you spend it, you cannot get it back. Females, for those of you that want to live the whole lifestyle and spread your legs for the Chads and the Brads and the Tyrones and choose to disregard the good guys, like, I sincerely hope that bad things happen to you sometime down the road. I'm hoping that you experience heartbreaks and no guy spends time with you after you reach your expiration dates. Like, I really mean all of these things. In addition to this, gentlemen, whatever you do not be that nice guy that's always there to save someone's day. Remember, if you surround yourself with people that do not want you or need you, always keep that in the front of your mind and pay attention to how people perceive you. If anybody or a group of people do not want you around them, then that's okay. What you need to do is detach yourself from those toxic people that have absolutely no reason to dislike you, okay? Stop surrounding yourself with people that do not care about you. Start watching your own back. So, with all of that said, this concludes this episode of my incredible podcast. So, thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to Hulk smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Share this with your boys and your families. Follow me on Instagram. Smash that bell notification button. And every single one of you, have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace out.